Red yeast rice is often marketed as a natural cholesterol-lowering supplement, but what many users don't realize is that its active ingredient, monocolin K, is chemically identical to levastatin, a prescription statin drug. This means that red yeast rice is not simply a benign food extract. It is, in effect, an unregulated statin. And because it is sold as a supplement rather than a pharmaceutical, it lacks the quality control, dosage precision, and safety monitoring that accompany prescription medications, all of which significantly increase the risk of toxicity, especially to the liver and muscles. The production of red yeast rice involves fermenting rice with a yeast called Monascus purpureus, which naturally produces monocolin compounds. Among these, monocolin K is the most potent and the most studied. It inhibits HMG-CoA reductase, the same enzyme targeted by prescription statins, thereby lowering LDL cholesterol. For consumers looking to reduce their cholesterol without taking a drug, this sounds like a win. But this framing is misleading and, in some cases, dangerous. Unlike prescription statins, which are manufactured to exact specifications and tested for purity and potency, red yeast rice supplements vary widely in their monocolin K content. Studies have shown that two products with the same label may contain drastically different amounts of active compound, from virtually none to more than what's found in a low-dose prescription statin. This inconsistency means users may unknowingly ingest subtherapeutic or dangerously high doses. And because the packaging rarely discloses monocolin levels, even well-intentioned users cannot self-regulate their intake. Adding to the danger, some red yeast rice supplements are contaminated with citrinin, a mycotoxin that can cause kidney damage. Citrinin is a byproduct of the fermentation process, and without strict quality control, which most supplement brands lack, it can end up in the final product. Chronic exposure to citrinin may not produce immediate symptoms, making the long-term risk especially insidious. Red yeast rice, like prescription statins, can also cause muscle toxicity, myopathy, ranging from mild aches to serious conditions like rhabdomyolysis, a breakdown of muscle tissue that can lead to kidney failure. Users may not connect new-onset fatigue, weakness, or muscle soreness to the supplement, especially if they believe they're taking something natural and safe. Similarly, red yeast rice can elevate liver enzymes and lead to liver inflammation, particularly when taken at high doses or combined with other hepatotoxic substances like alcohol, niacin, or green tea extract. The lack of medical supervision compounds the issue. When a physician prescribes a statin, they typically monitor liver function, assess for side effects, review medication interactions, and counsel the patient on warning signs. None of this occurs when someone self-prescribes red yeast rice. Yet the physiological effects are often the same or worse due to the lack of regulation and unknown dosage. Moreover, some individuals may believe that because they're not taking a prescription drug, they don't need blood work or follow-up, even if they're managing serious conditions like high cholesterol or coronary artery disease. Drug interactions are also a concern. Like prescription statins, red yeast rice is metabolized by the liver, specifically via the cytochrome P450 system, CYP3A4. This means it can interact with numerous other drugs, including certain antibiotics, antifungals, antidepressants, and heart medications, leading to either increased statin-like side effects or reduced efficacy of other drugs. But because red yeast rice is a supplement, these risks are often not discussed with doctors, or the supplement may not be listed in a patient's medication history at all. There's also a legal and ethical gray area surrounding red yeast rice. The FDA has attempted to regulate products containing significant amounts of monocolin K, arguing that they are essentially unapproved drugs. Some manufacturers have responded by lowering the monocolin content, making the product ineffective, while others continue to sell high-dose versions without clear labeling. This creates confusion and risk for consumers, who may have no idea what they're actually ingesting. In some ways, red yeast rice sits in a worst-of-both-worlds scenario. It has the risks of a drug, but the oversight of a food supplement. It can lower cholesterol like a statin and cause statin-like side effects, but without the safety net of proper manufacturing standards, physician supervision, or dosing transparency. For people with high cardiovascular risk, this can be particularly dangerous because they may rely on red yeast rice as their sole therapy, unaware that they are missing out on the full clinical management and safety precautions that would come with a prescription statin. Ultimately, while the appeal of a natural statin is understandable, red yeast rice should not be seen as a safer or more holistic alternative. If someone needs to lower their LDL cholesterol to prevent heart attack or stroke, they should do so with the help of a physician, using therapies that are well studied, tightly controlled, and regularly monitored. Choosing red yeast rice instead, without knowing the dose, purity, or risk profile, is not just risky, it's potentially life-threatening. When it comes to powerful lipid-lowering interventions, natural does not mean safe, and in this case, it may mean dangerously misleading.